Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, how to set up Tenda i24 AC1200 Wave 2 Wi-Fi access point. This is how it looks like. This is a ceiling mounted access point. At least this is what they say. I think doesn't really matter if you put it on the wall as well. So it have couple of various features. First, you got Ethernet port and power supply port. You don't have to use power supply port, you can use PoE Ethernet port. Then you have reset button here. I will talk about it later on. So this is just an overview from their website. You got standard 2.4 GHz networks and 5 GHz. I think this is the Wi-Fi 5 standard. Right now, the latest one it's Wi-Fi 7, but it's not really available yet. So Wi-Fi 6 is actually the latest one available. Also, what this Wi-Fi hotspot support is VLAN tagging, which is quite important as well. So let me go. What I will recommend, go to this website. I will leave the link to this website down below in the description. You can download the manuals from this installation guide and user guide in PDF format. You can download new firmware for it. I will show you how to do it as well in the video. So this is user guide in PDF and installation guide. So you can use PoE switch as they recommend, but you don't have to do it. They supply the power supply, so you can use that DC power jack input and then piece of cable just to connect to your router. So first, what you need to do first, you need to set up your IP address on your laptop or desktop, depends what you're using. Basically, you must have on your laptop or your desktop the network socket for your Cat5 cable, and then you need to set the IP address as it's follow on this network: 192.168.0 and from 2 to 253. Okay, how to do it? So go to control panel. You can do as they say. Click network sharing center, change the adapter settings, or you can type in search bar on the left hand side below control panel. So let me go to my control panel, network and internet, network sharing center. Right now I'm connecting to my network, so I need to find out what is my network address. So I click on this, details. Okay, my network address is 10.1.1.13. This is the device, this is the address of my desktop. The default gateway, I got 10.1.1.1, and DHCP server and DNS server is the same. Okay, you probably gonna be connecting it to your home router provided by your broadband provider. So your IP address will be completely different. It will be probably 192.168.0 or 192.168.1. So to find out which one you got, basically do these steps from the using control panel. So this is my address. You're gonna have probably something else here. So okay, I know which one I got. So before you do settings of your IP on your device, you need to find out which IP addresses you got available on your network. because if you set your Wi-Fi device, Tenda Wi-Fi device, as a static IP address, this address cannot be used by any different address. So how to do it? You go and you can download this tool, Advanced IP Scanner. I will link to the download in the description below. Then basically once you install it, you can scan your network. Basically this is my network, what I'm connected right now, 10.1.1. This is network, and then this portion is a host list, host devices address. So it will scan from 1 to 254. If you got probably one of these networks, 192.168.0.1 to 54 or 192.168.1.1. So you have to find out first and basically scan your network as appropriate. So let me scan this one, and then we will see which kind of devices are on my network right now. Basically this is my router, this is my desktop computer, what I'm doing the video right now. This is my excuse me, network switch. Is a TP-Link PoE network switch. Basically once I set up the IP address on the Wi-Fi device, I'm gonna connect to the PoE port, so I won't be using the power supply anymore. And is one more device, I can't remember what it is. So I can set easily, I can set 10.1.1.3 on my Wi-Fi hotspot. So let me go and check my IP address first. So I can put 11, whatever, from 2 to 253. Okay, then go to the browser and type this IP address. This is the default IP address of the Wi-Fi hotspot device. Oh, sorry, I didn't connect the cable. So let me disconnect the existing network and connect the cable. What you need to do, type user admin and password is admin as well. When you log in for the first time, it will redirect you to quick setup, and you will have security mode known. So it's like anybody can connect to it. So this is what you have to change in the first place. So go WPA to PSK and then AES, and then change the password as well. I'm not gonna do changing anything because it doesn't really matter, I'm making the video. You can do the same for 5 gig as well. So this is done. Next, go to internet settings. So okay, we need to change the IP address which we got available for our device. So basically I know I can assign the IP address like 10.1.1.3, and basically also connect my access point directly to my router. I will be able to log in using this address. The another option I said before, you can use DHCP mode. That means the router will assign the IP address available. So this is kind of safer option. So for this video I will use this option. You can use either way, or leave it static, which is kind of better because the router may change the IP address, say in 3 months time. Or the worst case scenario, if something goes with your router, or then basically you won't be able to connect directly to your computer and type the IP address because the device won't have one. So I would recommend to use static. But if something, if you don't know, if you won't be you won't be able to connect to it using static, you can use DHCP. So what you're gonna do is change for DHCP, you can't change these fields anyway. Then click save. What I will do is good idea as well. Wait a sec. Maintenance, and you can click reboot, or basically click again on the settings. Okay, it stays, it's saved. Just disconnect it and connect to your router or to your PoE switch, which is supposed to be connected to your router as well. Don't forget this. So let me connect to my switch using PoE, so I don't have to use my power supply anymore. And then what is important as well, make sure you go back to your Ethernet settings if you're using cable to get the internet, basically. Properties, and obtain IP address automatically again. Revert as they was. I don't know how you have it set it up before, but basically go back to the same settings. So let me disconnect it and connect it to my PoE switch, and then I will continue the video. So okay, my device is already boot back in operation. So how I gonna find, if I set the DHCP, how I gonna find which address, which IP address my router assigned to this device? So basically, as previously, use the advanced IP scanner and scan your network again, and it should appear on the list of the devices. So let me see. And there we go, we got one. Tenda technology, this is the one. 10.1.1.32. So either way, or you go back to your browser and click and type it, or you can do this, go to copy IP, go back to the browser, paste and go, and there you go, we go back into our device interface. So let me go from the top, show you a couple of more things. So we got status. So we got the details about our connection to our router. This is the IP address, firmware version, system time, uptime, wireless status. We got only one SSID enabled right now on 2.4 and one on 5 GHz. Traffic statistics. So basically I was connected for a moment on 2.4 and I got 53 packets transmit. Client lists, no data yet because it was restored to the default. Quick setup we already see. Internet settings. Now DHCP server. If you connect it on to your home router, and basically your home router in 99% got that function enabled, don't try to turn this thing on, because more than likely you will create problems on your network, because you can have only one DHCP server on your network. So please don't do this, because you're calling for trouble. If you know what you're doing, yes, you can use it, but basically you can use this option if your router DHCP server is disabled, then you can use this one. But I will highly recommend leave your router as it is, just don't use this option. Next, wireless. So this is we got in this, we can set our Wi-Fi SSIDs, but more options we got. So for 2.4 GHz we got available 8 Wi-Fi SSIDs we can do. So let me change this one. I will change it for simply Wi-Fi. Keep this one as it is, and okay, status enable. If it's disabled, it won't be working basically. Broadcast SSID enable. So basically, if you're trying to connect your mobile later on to this Wi-Fi, your mobile will scan available networks and it will be available to see this network. So if you disable, you won't be able to scan it and see this network and connect to it automatically. Once you disable this, you will have to do it manually. Next, isolate the clients. Basically, this field, if you enable, the clients won't see each other. What that means, if you scan with advanced IP scanner, you won't see any different device if this option is enabled. So, for example, if we create another SSID network with, say, for guest only, this is I would recommend to enable this option. So let me go set up this one first, save, then I will add another one. So this one will be, say, Wi-Fi guest. WPA2PSK, save. Say I'm gonna add one more. This one I'm gonna name, say, maybe like this, IoT. So this is handy if you got, say, Hue bulbs or IKEA bulbs or Sonos switches, stuff like that. So all of them gonna be on this network. So you can create like this. Make sure you enable. I forgot probably on the other one as well. What you can do next, maybe on IoT network, keep it, don't enable isolate the clients, because sometimes they need to talk to each other. Same, isolate the SSID, maybe that's not the best idea as well. So maybe keep this kind of setting for your IoT devices. Maybe you got TV connected as well. This could be probably best idea to put it on the same IoT network. So again, WPA2PSK and click save. Let me check this one as well, because okay, you see I didn't enable it. So this is for guest network, so I will say isolate the clients and isolate the SSID. Click save. What I will say, probably IoT, what is good, disable the broadcast. You will connect your IoT devices once per half a year probably, and you're gonna know which broadcast SSID you're supposed to use. Do you need to show on your scanned networks? I don't believe so. It's probably more secure to leave it disabled. So okay, we can go now for this one. Let me do this one as well. Okay, I'm trying to save this and it's showing me the message. Total maximum client should be less than 228. So basically, max number of clients, we can change this option. So basically, right now it's too many. So let me put this one, say 10, and save. And okay, this was enough. Basically, later on, when you set up all your networks, all your devices, you got everything connected. Check how many clients you got on each network, and then reduce this amount, because it's another security feature as well. If you set this one to say 10, okay, let me go this one. This is your main network basically. So all your phones in your home, you will get connected to this network. So check how many clients you got connected to this network and reduce this number, because in case someone break into your network using your internet or spying on you, then basically when you come back home and you see your phone doesn't want to connect, then something must be wrong. Maybe it's a different reason, but could be someone connect to it and it's too many clients already connected and doesn't want to connect to your phone. So that could be handy as well. So okay, next we can go RF settings. I will keep it as it is. What you can do, I will say probably maybe change the country. I will keep it as it is for now, doesn't really matter. RF, this is more advanced functions. You probably don't want to touch anything of this. You can try this one. Basically every page which you're viewing got this question mark, which you can go to it and read what's about and have a better idea what you're doing as well, but kinda not enough to understand everything. So, but you can always Google up what's about. But I will say those RF settings, RF optimization, WMM are, don't touch this three, I will say. So access control, this is another quite handy function. So for example, SSID, Wi-Fi, what we can do here, once we enable this, we can blacklist the devices or whitelist the devices. What that means, if I blacklist the device and type the MAC address here and add to that list, then basically this device, once try to connect to this network, it will get refused connection. You can do other way, like clicking this button and all the devices actually connected right now, it should show up here, and then you will be able to just tick the box and add it to this list. Or basically you can use a whitelist mode, which basically will add the devices which you can connect. Any different device with different MAC address wouldn't be able to connect, even if they got the password. So this is another safety feature. So bear in mind this one as well. Advanced settings. This one, maybe leave it as it is. You can go again, question mark, and read what's about. VLAN, I will go back to it in a minute. Advanced traffic control. This is quite good as well, because you can limit your Wi-Fi networks. So say Wi-Fi, you will leave no limit, because only your personal devices in your all your people in your home will need to have this no limit basically. The IoT devices, you can probably limit this one, say to 1 megabit per second. They still should work just fine. Depends what you got. If you got TV connected to this network, then basically your TV will try to probably download some content from Netflix, so may not be the best idea. Okay, I think this one is quite simple. SNMP. This is if you got SNMP server, so you can monitor what your device is doing right now, how basically you can get the data from the device and see, say, traffic, how much data is transmit, upload, download, and stuff like that. Tools, date and time. You can set your date and time, synchronize with your PC, and things like that. Login, timeout, interval. So basically, if you will log in now into the manage interface here. So if I stop doing anything, I go to different website doing something. When I come back after 15 minutes, I try to do something, it will log me out automatically. By default, it's set for 5 minutes. I changed it for just for this video purpose because it was keep logging me out. But basically 5 minutes, I think it's just about. It doesn't really matter if you in your home, but maybe you're setting up this device in your shop, so someone else may come back when you go out from your computer. Someone may come and do something about because you was logged in, so that could be important in that case. I will say maintenance, basically reboot, reset to default. That's kind of self-explanatory. Upgrade, you can upgrade the firmware. I done it when I get the device. Basically be very careful with it, read the manual, make sure do not power off the device during the upgrade. In my case was like this firmware upgrade should take say 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max, but after half an hour I still couldn't log in and I wasn't sure what to do next. Should I turn the power off or try to reset, because we got a reset button on the back of it as well. Just in case, if you can't do anything, you're not sure, leave it for an hour even, because if something goes wrong, you won't be able to repair it if you interrupt the firmware upgrade. So maybe be very careful with this case. Backup and restore. Okay. If you set everything, you set your accounts as well, you change the password as well. Make sure it's a strong password to log into this interface, and make sure your passwords are very strong in your Wi-Fi network. So once you do all this, you can back up your configuration, and then say for example before you do upgrade firmware, do your backup, do your all the settings, do your backup, do your upgrade, then probably I can't remember how it was, I think wipe off all the configuration and it was restored to the default. So if you got the backup, you can restore it straight away, so you don't have to do all over again. Turn off all the LED indicators. There's only one LED on my one, which is kind of strange because it's stable when it's booting and then it's flashing once per second when it's boot and ready to go, ready to use. I will imagine if it's flashing, it's something wrong with it, or it's booting, like other way around. But okay, this button is for if you want to turn it off, so it's no LED at all. Okay, this is the settings. We can change administrator settings and guest settings. I think this is quite simple. Right now we got admin, so we can type our old password, put new password, new username, and just save. So basically recommend don't use the default username, use something different, and then the strong password as well. So at least 12 characters, capital and small letters, numbers, special characters. This is quite important because if someone manage to log into your interface, may do quite a lot of change, may less secure, and you won't be able to even know about. And probably once you set everything, next time you log in to check what's going on, most of people probably next 3 to 5 months never log back in and have a look. So that's how it is. System log. So this is quite simple as well. Again, you can find out what's about. Log settings, diagnosis tool. Basically you can ping any domain or IP address using this screen. Uplink detection. I can't remember what's about. Okay, that doesn't really matter. You can always tap this and check it. Okay, so what I would like to say in the end, it's quite important functionality, which is VLAN. What is VLAN? VLAN is a virtual network, local area network. So you can have couple of networks on your only one interface, which have completely different network address, and then basically, if you got capable of router of creating VLANs, then that router probably more than likely will be able to create a firewall rules. So if you got VLAN 1, VLAN 2, VLAN 3, you can separate them completely from each other. So in this case, if you say got Wi-Fi guest, you will have separate VLAN for it, which is completely separate from any different VLAN, any different network in your home. So if someone will be able to break in, you won't be able to do anything on your more important devices on your network, because that VLAN for guest is completely separated. You can do it, so it's only possible traffic to watch the websites, but maybe not even Netflix. You can do many things. Basically, if you got router provided by your broadband provider, you won't have this functionality. You need to get the router like PFSense, for example, which I have it in my home, but you won't be able to do it on a simple router like Virgin broadband router or EE broadband router. Okay, so how we gonna do it? Basically, you need to have a manageable switch. So I got one TP-Link, so let me log into it. And then I got VLAN settings. So right now I got connected, the Wi-Fi hotspot, Wi-Fi device is connected to port 1. And I got VLANs with number 1, which is primary VLAN, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So member ports. Port 1 is assigned to all of them, as you can see. And it's tagged as well. So basically, I got all these VLANs in one cable connected to this Wi-Fi device. So what next I can do? Oh, one more important thing. If you got like PFSense, you won't be able to provide that PVID. So if you're using power supply separate and plug this Wi-Fi device directly to your router, PFSense router, you won't be able to get this PVID from your router. You have to use the switch, so you can set this PVID. Basically, in my case, on port 1 I got 1. So let me go back to this one. So first, before you start doing anything, I will highly recommend do the backup your configuration. Why I'm saying this? Because if you enable VLAN, it's happened to me before. I click enable, I didn't change the VLAN IDs, and I saved. Basically straight away I'm locked out from, because I don't have this 1000 number VLAN ID. So I'm locked out. I couldn't log back in. So what I did have to do, I have to press that reset to default button on the back of the device, and then do all the settings all over again. So if something goes wrong, you got that backup configuration. Worst case scenario, you upload that backup configuration and restore it, and you can start from scratch. So okay, I'm gonna enable management VLAN. So basically, to log into this interface, which VLAN tag you wanna use. I keep 1. So next, Wi-Fi, which VLAN you wanna use for Wi-Fi. I keep I keep 1 as well. IoT, I put, say, 3. So VLAN with tag number 3 will be IoT, Wi-Fi, SSID. VLAN with tag 1 will be Wi-Fi. So I will show you in a minute how that works. So let me change this one as well. This will be one as well. Guest, I will put number 2. And this one again, number 3. So save. It will reboot the device. So okay, I reboot the device, it's finished rebooting, and basically I was able to connect to the Wi-Fi network. I don't know, doesn't show me Wi-Fi 5G here, but because it's, I think this is because my desktop, I got another one, Wi-Fi guest. So okay, I'm already connected to Wi-Fi, normal Wi-Fi. So let me check my IP address again. And I got 10.1.1.10. So I should be able to connect to my interface, but as you can see, it's not unable to find the server. So what next to do? What I did already actually. I scanned the network, and basically once we change the VLAN settings, it's because we set DHCP mode on IP settings, change the IP address of the device to from 32 in the end to 34. So that's the problem, that's the issue coming up if you using DHCP. To be honest, you shouldn't have this problem, because once you set up everything, the router should remember the last IP address. So once you do everything, all the settings, it should keep this IP address. But worst case scenario, open your advanced IP scanner, scan it again, and you will see it clearly. Tenda, that's it, this is the one. So I copy the IP, let me go back, log in, and we in. Okay, I'm not gonna log in again because doesn't really matter. What I was trying to show about VLANs. So basically all my VLANs are completely different networks, and I got all these networks on different SSIDs right now because we enabled the QVLAN tagging. So let me connect to this one now. So okay, it's get connected to the Wi-Fi guest. Okay, it's showing me it's no internet because I think I didn't finish configure the router yet for this network, for this VLAN. But basically it's connected. I get the IP address and stuff like that. So let me check the IP address right now. And basically I got completely different network now. It's 10.1.2. and the address of the device is 6. So this is completely separate network. As you can see, I'm capable of doing settings on my router. So if someone is connected to this network, basically in this case no internet access at all, but you can do so only websites, maybe websites with Netflix or something else. But if someone try to use VPN, may not be able to use VPN, depends how you do your settings on your firewall. So that's how it is. So I think this is probably enough for this video. I think this is pretty good device. I like it. It's got a lot of functionality, make your network much safer, and the price is very fair price. I pay £35 for it. Say for example, kind of similar device to it. Its next one it will be, I was thinking to get TP-Link, which is probably about twice or even 3 times more expensive. So I prefer TP-Link, but I choose this one because the price. Again, one more thing in the end. You see this not secure. It's just because it haven't got the HTTPS enabled on the device, but if I get TP-Link, where we go, this is my switch TP-Link, does the same thing. So basically the price is behind it. If you want the HTTPS secure connection to it, to your managed interface, then you need to spend quite more money. Like you need to get Cisco one probably, or Aruba, which is probably 5 to 10 times more money. So this is what it is. I think this is good for me or for your home network. It's good as well. Small business, it shouldn't be a problem as well, especially if you got VLANs on your network. It will be ideal if it's HTTPS, but it's not, so that's what it is. Okay, so I think this enough for this video. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.